Thank you so much for reaching out to us to get an estimate. What I want to do is just take a couple seconds and show you how to count your window pane, so that way we can get you the most accurate quote possible. So when we do window pane counting, it's not per window. So if you take a look at the window here on the left, we wouldn't count this as one. There's actually two pieces of glass. There's a left piece of glass and a right. So we'd count this actually, and this is a window that slides open, so we'd count this as two pieces of glass or two window panes. If your windows slide up and down, that's a double hung window. We'd also consider that two pieces of glass. If your windows crank open, okay, we'd also consider that one piece, but if there's another one next to it, obviously this would be a second piece of glass. That'd be two panes. Sliding glass doors, same thing. Two pieces of glass on most typical sliding glass doors. If we looked at a bay window like this, we'd basically count this as 5 pieces of glass. Now this is a quick chart to show you how we would count each window pane. So again, just a picture window at the top here. If they don't open, they're just picture. That's one piece of glass. The sliders, 2 pieces of glass. Double hungs up and down, 2 pieces of glass. Like I said, patio doors 2. A bay window that would look like this is going to be 3 pieces of glass. Picture window that I showed you earlier, 5 pieces of glass. Okay, sometimes you're going to get double hungs with a circle top window. Okay, so in this case, this would be 5 pieces of glass. Some windows will come with a transom window above them. So this is also going to be considered 3 pieces of glass. Okay, if your windows look like this would be considered 4 pieces of glass. Now, the only thing that would be different is if you've got grids in your windows. So if your grids are in between the glass, if you run your hand on the glass and you can't feel the grids, it's in between the glass. We wouldn't count that any different. We'd essentially assume that that's 2 pieces of glass. But if the grids were outside of your windows, and they're actually called French pane windows or cut-ups. So maybe you've got 6 pieces of glass here if that grid is on the outside of the window. Some grids are removable, and if you can remove them, we still count that as 2 pieces of glass. But in this case, if you didn't have removable grids, and they weren't in between the glass, but they're on the exterior, this would be considered 6 pieces of glass. Now, we don't count that as 6. What we would do essentially is count 3 pieces of glass as 1. So we'd count that as 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces of glass. Now, if you do have French panes or cut-up windows, it's probably best just to let us know so that we can come out and do an accurate quote and make sure we do an official count. A lot of that is so variable in our pricings. It's also really important to let us know if you have storm windows. So in this example of a storm window, basically you'd have 4 pieces of glass. You'd have your top and bottom, which is 1 and 2. And then on the inside of the house, there's another layer of glass. So there'd be 3 and 4 panes of glass. If you do have storm windows, it's best to have us come out and do an official on-site quote. So please let us know so we can give you an accurate quote that way. So basically what you want to do at this point is add up and go through your house and count out how many pieces of glass we're going to be cleaning. Once you add up the total number of pieces of glass we're going to be cleaning, or total window panes, you're going to come to this form when you go through the process, and it's going to ask how many total window panes do you have, and you're just going to put that total. So maybe you added up 45 panes of glass. So you're just going to put 45 there. Now, if you do have French panes or cut-ups, you can put how many of those you've got. But like I said, it's easier just to let us know so we can come out and take a look ourselves. Now, storm doors, just put in how many storm doors you want us to clean as well. Just remember, if you do an online quote or an over-the-phone quote, when we come to service the home, what we're going to do is do an official pane count and give you an official price before we start any of the work, just in case there's anything different, anything that you missed, or maybe you overcounted. So what we're going to do is just firm up the price when we get to your home before we start any of the work. So that's it. That's all you need to do. Once you submit that information, you're going to receive an estimate with different service options for your house. If for some reason you don't feel comfortable counting up window panes and doing an online quote, just give us a call and we'd be happy to set up a time where we can come out and take a look at your house and get you an official quote that way. You can also just take pictures of the 4 sides of your home and text them to us, and that way we can see exactly what you've got, and we can give you an accurate quote that way as well.